Hello students, this is the second lecture regarding the type of statements in C. As we have seen, there are 6 types of statements that we'll be using in the C program. The statements are declarative statement, input-output statement, assignment statement, conditional statement, iterative statement, and unconditional statement. We have seen declarative statement in which we give name to a memory location, and that location can be accessed with that name. Memory location is also called a variable. We have given the syntax of the declarative statement. That is the basic syntax, and as we move on with the C, we will give different other forms of the syntax that can be used for the declarative statement. Now, we also studied input output statement. In these statements we studied 2 statements. One was scanf and one was printf. Scanf is used to input a value from the keyboard and store it in a variable or memory location. Printf is the output statement that can be used to display the message on the screen, or it can be used to display the contents of a variable on a output screen or user screen. Now today we are going to study 2 more statements, that is the assignment statement and the conditional statements. Again, we'll be focusing on the simple forms of these statements, but as we learn C, we'll learn the other forms of these statements also. Now let us first see assignment statement. This statement is used to assign the value to a variable. By assigning a value to a variable, we mean we can give a new value to the variable. How do we assign the value? The syntax is like this. It has 2 forms, that is variable equal to value or variable equal to expression. These are the 2 forms of the assignment statement. It is called assignment statement because it uses equal to operator, and this operator is called as a assignment operator in the C, but the entire thing is called as a assignment statement. That is variable equal to value followed by terminator is a assignment statement. Similarly, variable equal to expression followed by the terminator is the second form of the assignment statement. We are studying the 2 forms here for the assignment statement, and later on we will see what are the different forms possible for this statement. Let us first study the first form, where we write variable equal to value. Once we write variable equal to value, it is worth knowing that the variable should have been first created, that is we should have given a name to a memory location, and that we give through the declarative statement that we have discussed in the previous lecture. So if I have a variable named a with the data type int, this is the declarative statement which we have studied. Then using this statement we can assign a value to this variable. Suppose I say a equal to 10. Later on I can say a equal to 70. Now whenever we give this statement, the previous value of the variable, that is the memory location, is erased and the new value is stored there. Let us analyze these steps, 3 steps or 3 statements. Initially, the first statement is int a. It gives a name to a variable or a memory location. Now the value stored in that variable is junk value. That is the value that is not assigned by the programmer, but that value is given by the system itself once we switch on the power. As I told you, when the power is switched on, certain values come in the memory automatically. These values are called as junk values. Now in this statement we are changing the junk value. We are assigning the new value to the a, that is we are storing 10 in a. This is equivalent to writing the value 10. 10 is a constant now in a. A is the name of a variable, and the syntax again you check. We should give the name of the variable name here. This by here variable here I mean giving a variable name equal to value is 10. So once we assign this 10 to a variable, this value is written into a. Now assignment statement has 2 parts. One is the left hand part and one is the right hand part. In the left hand part, always we have a single variable and on the right hand part we have a value or we have an expression. Whenever we assign a value to it, that value is stored in a variable, and whenever we assign an expression to it, that the result of that expression is stored in a variable. That we'll see next. But this example, that's the first form of the assignment statement. I think the syntax is clear. According to the syntax, the first part should be a variable name, followed by the equal to operator, followed by the value, and then terminator. This is the form that I have already discussed. Once we do the program, it will be clear. Next is the second form of the assignment statement, that is variable name equal to expression. Again, the variable should be first created, that is there should be some location which we have named using a declarative statement, and then we can assign the expression into that variable. This is the second form. Now expression can be arithmetic, logical, relational, or conditional. Now what do you mean by arithmetic or any other expression? There are different types of the expression, but we will be focusing mainly on the arithmetic expressions. I will tell you about arithmetic expressions once I read out these steps. Now I have a variable, I am declaring a variable, that is a is being declared. We say a is being created, we say a is being declared. In other words, we are naming a location with name a. Declaring a variable means naming a location with the name that is given by the programmer. In fact, first we should give the data type. This syntax we have already discussed. Next, I am declaring a variable b or creating a variable b, and in the third step I am creating a variable answer. Now in the answer I am assigning the value of the expression, that is a plus b. What do you mean by this statement? Now assignment statement, this is assignment statement because it follows the syntax variable equal to expression. Now this expression is called an arithmetic expression. Why? Because it uses an arithmetic operator. Now I have to give the certain terminologies that you should note, and they will be useful for future classes. What are the terminologies? First is the operand. Operand is the argument on which the operation is performed. In this expression, that is a plus b, which is an arithmetic expression because it uses the arithmetic operator. Operator is a symbol which designates the operation. In this case, the operation is addition. Now a and b are operands, as I told you. The operator acts on the operands, and the result that is generated is stored in the answer. Who will calculate or who will perform this operation or processing? It is CPU that will perform. That's not your headache. You have to simply write the assignment statement and following the syntax rules. It is the work of the or job of the CPU to execute this assignment statement and use the value of variable a, that is memory location a, and memory location b, and add them together and then assign it to the answer. You are simply giving the instruction to the CPU that it should do addition operation of these two variables and store the value in the answer. The value of a is being read. As I told you, there are two operations on the memory, that is read and write. Whatever is on the right hand side of the expression of the assignment statement, that is a plus b, those locations are being read. Like we read a value from a, we read a value from b, CPU reads it and then adds a to b and stores the result in answer. Storing means writing the value, and it is being stored in the answer. So on the location whose name is answer, the result of this operation, that is addition operation, is stored. So in the assignment statement, the variable that is mentioned on the left hand side is being written with a value that is calculated in the expression, and this value is being calculated by the CPU. So that value is being assigned to a variable. Now this is the second assignment statement. In this assignment statement we are performing the operation of subtraction, and in the next we are performing the operation of division, and in this statement we are performing the multiplication operations, and accordingly we are storing the results in answer. Now as I have told in the previous classes, division operation is indicated by the slash, forward slash, and multiplication operation is indicated by the star or asterisk, because we don't have symbols for multiplication and division on the keyboard. and when the C was designed, it uses these operators to designate division and multiplication. Note, the multiplication is same as it is done in the mathematics, but the designation is different. So you need not to worry about the symbols. This simply designates the addition, that is the slash, and this star designates the multiplication. Now, we cannot write something like this, that is the LHS and RHS. In LHS, we got to have a single variable according to the syntax. We cannot have two variables, or we cannot write an expression in LHS side. That is wrong in C, but in math it is alright. So here the C differs from mathematics. In mathematics, you can write the LHS part where you can have the expression, and RHS part where you can have the expression. But in C, it's not allowed. You have to write the single variable on LHS side, and you can form your expression on the RHS side. Now I have used a single operator. You can use multiple operators. As I told you, operator is a symbol that designates the operation, and operands are the arguments on which the operation is performed. Now expression is the combination of operators and operands according to the rules of syntax, and those expressions we choose arithmetic operators are called as arithmetic expressions. As I told you, expressions can be of different types. They are of different types. Programmer can form the different types of expressions like arithmetic expressions, logical expressions, relational expressions, or conditional expressions, or some other forms of the expression. Then we will study those in the coming classes as we start learning how to use operators and how to form expressions. We initially start with the arithmetic expression. Now we are going to perform a programming exercise in which we are going to learn following things. That is how we change the value of variable. As I told you, there are two ways of changing the value of variable. One is the assignment statement and another is the scanf. Because when you scan a value from the keyboard, that value is stored in the variable and the previous value is overwritten. That is what I mean by changing the value or contents of a variable. Similarly, in the assignment statement, whatever variable is written on the left hand side of the expression, of the statement rather, that value is changed, or the value computed from the expression is assigned into the variable that is written in the left hand side of the assignment statement. We will also learn about what is the control flow. Control flow means the order in which the statements of the program are executed. Normally the control flow is sequential, but it can be non-sequential also. We will later on see how we can achieve the non-sequential control flow. Now in this example, I will try to clarify these things so that in the future we can have a better understanding of our programming logic. Input-output statements. Yes, scanf and printf. Now we are going to learn today the assignment statement, and next we will learn conditional statement. But I have explained the assignment statement till now. Let us see how we work with the assignment statement. First we have to declare the variable. Say we are declaring two variables A and B. That means we are giving names to two memory locations A and B. Let me have some more words before I go ahead about these include statements. These include statements are not meant for the compiler. They are meant for a special software called as preprocessor. That is different from the compiler. Now next, main is a function. You remember that main is a function, and its body starts from the first curly brace and ends with the next curly brace. We are going to write all the statements that we have discussed so far within the main, and this curly brace, starting curly brace and the ending curly brace, is called as a body of main. So we will be writing all the statements within the main. Whatever statements we will learn later on, we will have a new approach in this, but right now you remember that we are going to write everything within the main. Now what's the first statement we write? That is the first form of the assignment statement that we'll learn today. That is assigning a value to a variable. Use an assignment operator after that, and then assign a value 10 and use a terminator. This was the first form. As I told you, there are two forms of the assignment statement. First is assigning a value to the variable, that is variable equal to value. This is the value, and this value should be a constant. Constant means it can be a number. Right now in this case, because A is of type integer, so this constant should be an integer constant. Is it clear? If I have a character variable, that should be a alphabet, and if we have a float variable, that constant can be a decimal point value or number without a decimal points. Right now, let us understand this, that we are putting the value 10 in a memory location A. This 10 is being written on into the A, and this instruction or this statement is written by the programmer. Let us try to print the value before I assign the value to the A. Printf we have learned in the previous example. We have to write printf, then we have to give the format specifier. If I want to know what is in A, format specifier is %d for the integer, because A is of type integer. I am going to print what is in the A. Now this will print the value that is in the A. Now first I have created A, then I have created B, then I am clearing the screen, then I am printing the value of A. These steps are being written by me because I am the programmer, but the CPU will execute these steps one by one. Note, all the statements are not executed simultaneously. The statements are executed one by one. So the next statement that is executed after the printf will be A equal to 10. Let us write another printf. If let me first execute this part, this much only, because this will be better for your understanding. Now first I compile the program. As I told, I have written my program. Once I compile it, the compilation is a success. Now we should execute the program. We will use the menu option run, and once we run, the program will be executed. Now the output will come on the window, that is user screen. The output is some value which we don't know. This value is called a junk value. That is because we have not assigned this value. This value was present in the machine, in the memory location, and that value is displayed. Because memory location is basically the hardware, the values are not written in as we write in the copies. These values are basically represented as voltages, and once we switch on the system, some voltages are automatically generated in the memory, and these voltages are basically binary numbers, and these binary numbers can be anything. These numbers we have not stored in the memory. So now I have assigned the value 10 in this variable, and I will write another printf statement. I will print the value of A. Note it now. These statements will be executed one by one. I have made the change in the program, so first I will compile the program, and once I have compiled my program, it's a success, so I can execute it now after this. Now let us again understand the statements. I am creating a variable A, then I am creating a variable B, then I am clearing the screen. Creating a variable means giving a name to the location as A, and that location will be given by the compiler. I need not to worry about that. I simply asking the compiler to give me the location and name that location as A, and I am going to store integers in A. This is what the first statement means. Same is true of the next statement, but I am naming this location as B. Then I am clearing the screen. Then I am printing A, whatever value is in the A. Since up to this point I have not given any value to the A, so A will be holding a value that will be called as a junk value. We don't know what value it will be, but it will be printed. Next I am assigning the value 10 to A. This is how I understand the assignment statements, that putting the value 10 in a memory location A, and if I am true in saying what I have explained, then 10 should be stored in the A. And how do I know that? Now I print the value of A, because we can use a printf to print the value of any variable on a screen. This I have explained in the previous program. Now let us run the program. Run the program, and once I run the program, the output should come on the user screen. Let us see the output. The output is the junk value and the value 10. Since the two things are clubbed together, to resolve the ambiguity, we'll make one more change in printf. That is, place some space in the message here so that the two values are differentiated. Now I compile again, Alt C, I compile, then I run Alt R, you will see Alt F5. See, the first value is the junk value, that is 844 because of the first printf, and the second value, that is 10, is the value that I have assigned to the A. So I am changing the contents of A. Now if I again assign the value to the A as 90, and after that I'll print the value of A again. Now now let us compile the program again, since we have changed our program, and now our program has one more statement, assignment statement, that is A equal to 10. As I told you, the statements are executed in a sequence. The order in which the C program is executed, or the statements of the C program is executed, you start from the first statement of the main, then the next statement is executed, then the next statement is executed, then the next statement is executed, so on and so forth. So the statements are executed in sequence, one by one. They are not executed simultaneously. Now initially we are creating a location and naming it as A, then we are asking for a location and naming it as B, then we are clearing the screen because we are clearing the previous outputs. This I have explained in the previous lecture. And then we are printing the value of A, and at this point only 3 statements have been executed, and in these previous 3 statements we are not changing A anywhere, therefore A will be having junk value. Now we are assigning the value 10 to A. This is how we use an assignment statement, variable name equal to value, then statement terminator, then we print the value of A. After this statement the value of A should change, then we are assigning the value 90 to the variable, that is A, and we are again printing the value of A. As I have defined as in the previous lectures, what is a variable? Variable is a memory location that modifies during the runtime. Now you will be seeing that as we go on with these statements, the value of A is changing. That is, initially it was junk, then it became 10, we assigned a new value, then we changed again the value of A. It's a single location, it's a single hardware location, but in the same hardware location you are writing the different values. So the way A is changing with time. That is why we define the variable as a memory location whose value can change with time, or the variable is defined as a location whose contents can change at runtime once we are running the program, because variables exist only once we are running the program. Once we are not running the program, the variables don't exist. Now we compile the program again. You remember, I should have the 3 values of A. In the first printf I should get a junk value, in the next printf I should get the value 10 because I am assigning the value 10, then in the next printf I should get value of A as 90. Let us run the program. We can run the program as many times as we want. Now after this, let us check the user screen. See, we are having 2 values. The first value is the junk value, the next value is the value 10 which we assign to the A, and the next value is 90 which we again assign to the A. The previous value is not retained. As I told you, the variable can store only one value at a particular instant of time, and if you change that value, the value of the variable changes. It no longer is there. The new value that is assigned will be there till we make further changes. As I told you, there are 2 ways of changing the value of variable. One is called as assignment statement and another is called as scanf. Now what happens in the scanf? Whatever value you scan from the keyboard, that value will be stored in a variable. Let us see that also, how we change the value of a in the scanf. We have already learned that in the previous program. Let us see again how we do that. A equal to, sorry, we have to use scanf. Before that we give the message printf. You know the syntax which we have explained. Enter message value of a. Then we scan the value of a. First we give the format specifier because a is an integer. Then we give the name of a variable, but before the name we have to give ampersand sign, and after that we'll print the value of a. In these two statements you can note the difference. In the scanf we are using where we input the value from the keyboard. Same syntax is used for the printf. The only difference is that the difference of the ampersand. In the scanf you give the ampersand, but in the printf you don't give the ampersand. And if you don't give ampersand in the scanf, this method will not work correctly. What is the reason for that? That we can discuss in the higher classes. Why we have to give ampersand in the scanf and why we don't have to give ampersand in the printf. Sorry, this should be printf. Now, what are the values of the a? Initially it's a junk value here, that is displayed here. Then I have the 10 value, that is displayed here. Then I have the 90 value, that is displayed here. Then I am taking the value of a from the keyboard with the help of scanf. This is the input statement, and then I am displaying the value of a here in this printf. Now a here should again change. It should change to the value that is given through the keyboard, and then that value is displayed here. Okay, let me compile the program, and now let me run the program. Now the first value is the junk value. Next value, that is 10, is because of the first assignment. Next value, that is 90, is because of the next assignment. So value of a is changing. Now we enter the value of a through the scanf. Since in the scanf I have mentioned the variable name as a, so this value what I'll be entering through the keyboard will be stored in the a itself, and a will change, and that value will be displayed also because we are using the printer for that. Now we can check whether it has displayed that value or not. We can again check, go to the user screen. See, the first value was the junk value, the next value is the 10 value of the a, the next value is a 90 value that is stored in the a. Memory location is same, that is a, but it is contents are changing with time. We can say the value that is present right now is called as a current value. That is when a particular statement is being executed. And next we are changing the value of a again. It is now 123. How do we know that it is changing? Because we are displaying the a. The next moment we are displaying the a, we are getting a different value. The next moment we are displaying a, we are getting a different value. The next moment we are displaying the a, we are getting a different value. The only difference between the assignment and the scanf is that in the assignment statement you simply give the value of a directly, but in the scanf you give the value from the keyboard, and that value is stored in a memory location whose name is specified in the scanf. In scanf, now if I specify the value of b location, the b will change. In this program we have seen that statements are executed one by one. I did not get the printf of 90 first. I first got the printf value of 10 for it because this is the statement that is executed first. Then we have the next statement. So the statements are executed one by one. The order in which the statements are executed is called as a control flow. So normal control flow is sequential. That is, the statements will be executed in a sequence. But we have an unsequential control flow also that we'll study in the conditional statement. I hope you are benefited from this lecture. Thank you.